8 to 10 masajid. So we went through this. We don't have to prove that this stuff is possible. If we had 8 to 10 masajid 15 years ago, we know what we're capable of doing, especially with a higher level of leadership. Remember, we haven't declined. We feel like that we have inclined. Yep. Willing to pay the price, we've talked about that when we talked about goal difficulty, and what have you, and goal commitment. The willingness to not only should be clear, but are you willing to pay the price to get where you are? So I just say, I'm willing to pay the price. I'm happy to pay the price. Okay. Natural period of reflection. Look what we did as As-Sabiqun, What we did then was, technically it was more than anybody else was doing. And even up till now, although that was a past period for us, we're going on about our business. This breakthrough we're having, we're already having a breakthrough. That's what we're in right now. And this is a planned visualization breakthrough. We know where we're trying to go, what we're trying to do, but we also know that we can't go there by ourselves. Now, this period of recruitment, if they don't go, if that don't go, that's not going to stop us. We're in a process of recruitment and recruiting teachers that are teachable. We can teach them, and they can teach everybody else. Actually, that was 20 years ago, the one on leadership, the role of leadership in the Islamic movement. Okay, natural period of reflection. Struggle and reflect. The Quran, don't you see how the earth is all spread out like a carpet? Don't you reflect? So if we go through these challenges, but we don't think about it, oh man, the white man did this. No, you got to reflect on it and think about it. Yep. And push to our limits. That's what a breakthrough is. If we called what was happening our limits at that time, that was even control limits, because we've been enforcing our own period of reflection. We've been cruising at our period. We call it just cruising. We used to do it naturally, and now we're doing it consciously. But we're not going to over-reflection. Over-reflection is non-action, like some of the people, paralysis by analysis. They sit around and they're paralyzed. They talk, like you say, they read hadith in the morning and they do stuff like that. Okay, so they know what the Quran hadith say, but they don't do anything about it. Okay. We're not going to do that. No. Our reflection period is not, we want to reflect on what Allah wants us to do. Because Iman and Amal, faith and action, praise to God and service to humanity. So we're saying to them, let me train you so you can train others. Okay. Our past performance, we're happy with that. What we did and what we're happy with that. We're not sad about it. We're not distraught or mean about it. None of that. And then, when you sit and listen to people, they don't have a story to tell. Like, Like all of this stuff, I could mention it. Sometime I done mentioned 500 times, but there's so many things that we haven't ever even got to that are real. That's the story of challenge, you know. Imagine when I had the problems with the government in the 60s. I just went overseas and traveled around. Okay, now I can say, yeah, the great waterfalls, the White Nile starts up here, the Blue Nile starts over there. And I was in Khartoum where they both meet. And I was at Lake Victoria where the great rivers and the great lakes spill over and all of that. And that's the start of the White Nile and all. You know, you can just, in fact, we was talking the other day, if you feel like it, look up Nazis in Argentina. Nazis in Argentina. And we talked about Juan Perón and all that. Okay, and the people was asking about, you started the program with a song. Well, just think, you've traveled so much and you've seen so much that you see them singing a song and you can relate a whole history that nobody else even knows about.
Right. Yeah, that's what it was saying. You know, I Googled Nazis in Argentina. Top hits are the 7 most notorious Nazis who escaped to South America.
Yeah.
People ask, why did Germans go to Argentina? Well, how did the Nazis get to Argentina? Was Argentina an ally? It goes on.
Right, and it talks about Juan Perón, how he was not a stooge of, but they put him in power. Yeah, he was a dictator.
Yeah, they even have the CIA's website even has a document about German nationalist and neo-Nazi activities in Argentina.
Of course. Okay, but how many people, if they're sitting there, if they look at Donald Trump, the joke, how many of the people can say, oh, here's what that is, da-da-da-da, they can't do it. Okay, that's the value. That's the value of being, not only being around so long, but being active. So certain things pop up, boop, antenna goes right up. That means this. You see what I mean? And that means that. Those are the things that we want to teach everybody. So they'll have them right off because if you're going to mess with boss man, you're going to need some teaching. You can't just jump up and yeah, wait, man, I'm gonna whoop your behind. That's great. Breakthrough. A breakthrough means that you break through fear, hatred, mistrust, inaction. All of those. Those are the minimum things. Inaction. Fear, you're just scared to do anything. I already seen what the white man do, the niggas that get up to they do that. So therefore, people become like great talkers. All Negroes in America are great at running their mouth and describing the problem. For the last 50 years or more, they've been speaking on the problem, not the solution. They don't want the solution. You're going to make the white man mad. So I'm going to become a top professor in America on what the problem is. And that's what you get. But if you get active, you have a story to tell. Oh, man, it's like everything means something. And doing something that make a difference. We talked about in the khutbah, why are we going to just be here? And this is different than the 60s. I was listening to, I guess it was this morning, the Palestinians, no, the Iraqis was really mad at Donald Trump letting these guys go, Blackwater that was killing the people. They protested to the UN, and that's, America, Donald Trump and all of them is dumb. Remember, we said that whoever put Don in, they put him in there to destroy America. Okay, he done lost the election. Why would he keep running on and on and on? Because it destabilizes America. It gives America is not a democracy anymore. Of course, it never was. But, right? Continuing to destroy America. Yeah, he ain't going, hey, shoot. The marshals may have to carry him out, which would be good. Plus, the right team will make you lose your fear of poverty and boss man. You think of 4 or 5 high-quality Negroes. It's not afraid of poverty. It's not, hey, man. To me, that's a dream team. I'm not saying that in these teams I was always maybe the only one felt like that. But when the heat came on, people would disappear. They would disappear. Or they would get tired. Or what the heck? The show is over. That's what. Okay. Let's see what we got over here. Again, the system has always worked for my betterment. You know, they just had little stuff. Whatever happened in prison, whatever happened, I've mentioned those many things before, but there's just, they would mess with my computer there about, because like all these, I used to have stacks of this stuff from whatreallyhappened.com and all those. Yeah, okay. Well, it would have you all that other stuff. And that information was interesting. So I would sit there and just, I got boxes and boxes. The printer just be cranking all the time. And since they messed that situation up, for me, actually, what they did was they messed up, Kokop Sadiq over in Baltimore, the New Trend guy, he writes New Trend. So he called me and he said, are you in London? I was in California. I said, no. He said, what's it? He said, well, somebody from London, I got something from London, an email. It said it was from you and you needed $700 or something. Okay. It was the people down at the house and Muhafiz. So what they did was they said, oh, we got it. Before I could do anything about it, they got me a new email. It wasn't Imam Musa at hotmail.com. It was Imam Musa 2009 at hotmail.com. So anybody that sent me, I used to be getting emails from everybody. And the phone number, 202-581-1616. Okay. So those were my communication lines here. Okay, so what they did was, I wasn't getting no more information on the computer. But I want you to think about the quality of analysis. Did it ever suffer? It never suffered. It got better. And I didn't sit there at the computer and the phone like most every other people, right? So that internet addiction, if I could have stayed on that, it could have, because all that information wasn't helping nothing. It was just stacks and stacks. Somebody blew a horn today somewhere. Let me put that, keep that in, because you know how you get to keeping and keeping and keeping. I'm trying to tell you, they did me a favor. They did me a favor. because they improved my accuracy. They didn't bring it down. It improved my accuracy. And okay, study stress, I talked about that. Systems downfall, degeneration, and destabilization is tied to their treatment. I don't know if you remember, but I said a year, 2, 3 years ago, since we was going through all this psychological guerrilla warfare and all that stuff was coming out, 1, 2, 3. So I said, we're gonna tie the systems degeneration to how they treat me. Don't make a difference. And guess what? The worse they treat me, the worse problems they have. I mean, it was like that day they got worse. You know, it's been way back at least a year or 2 ago I started talking about that. That I'm tying that system's degeneration, destabilization, to how you, because you know I'll make them offers, we're going to be friends, we're going to go do this and we're going to go do that. And they don't never take me up. But you got to look at it. Is their life getting worse or is ours? I like everybody, it's fine. And they taking bad hits, man. The world in turn, the United States in this 1 year have just fell off the scale as one that wants to be emulated. Okay. Also, we've become a prototype for what you can do. Meal ticketism, living in the design breakthrough. Okay, so next Tuesday, that will be more of a management thing. What I mean is we'll deal with basic appointments, job description, renting and who would rent, and because you have to remember now, it's only one person paying rent, and then all them little old bills. I said, good God Almighty, this is serious. So anyway, okay, that ought to be enough for today, inshallah. So any questions, anybody?